Hey everyone, it's Xant. Sorry for the late video. I normally do these the minute we get content announcements, but I was actually held up playing Code Vein. I screwed up my 25-hour save and had to start anew, so we sidetracked. Anyways, let's talk about the new Ashen Transformer event. So I'll do what I normally do, the new gacha, the new welfare, new pilots, and then anything extra about the event. So starting off is the Dual Gundam Assault Shroud. Okay, more Gundam Seed. We already have the Duel in Gunpla Warfare. This is a beefier version with more weaponry, if you couldn't tell. It's also got a rarity increase, going from 3 to 4 stars. Canonically, this suit's piloted by Isaac Jewell, just like the original Duel, and he's in the game already. Now, this was the guinea pig of the G-Weapon project that was on Heliopolis. It was used as a testbed for technologies that ended up being used in the other machines, and it was actually originally designed to be used by Naturals to fight Xant, but it got stolen. Big surprise. So what's the Shroud gonna add to the arsenal? Quite a bit, actually. So the base suit has your standard CIWS turret set, 2 beam sabers, a beam rifle with a grenade launcher attachment, and an anti-beam shield. Now the Shroud will add a railgun, and a missile pod in the shoulder. It also comes with more armor and more thrusters for maneuverability. The Shroud itself is more meant for space combat because of the extra weight not being fully offset by the Shroud's thrusters, but the armor can be removed or added. It's a really simple and straightforward machine, and I actually prefer the Duel with the Shroud, so this is nice to see. Next up is Pale Rider, dropping in as a 4-star from Missing Link, which is a video game for the PS3 that was later adapted into a manga based in the UC timeline. It was a Japanese-only release. Canonically piloted by Chloe Croce. Oh, wow, she's cute. Alright, sign me up for her getting in the game. Pale Rider was created by implementing the technologies that were made during the 1-year war, and only 4 were actually ever produced. I'd go into more detail about the machine, but unfortunately, I never played Missing Link, and the wiki is rather lacking. Actually, any information about it's kind of lacking. I'm gonna chalk it up to it only being released in Japanese. Let's talk firepower now. I do want to note that due to the vast list of things it could use and has used, but doesn't have available at all times, I've limited this list to what I'm going to assume will be in the in-game loadout, based on how it's been represented in other games. It has a Vulcan turret set, 2 beam sabers, 2 forearm-mounted beam guns, a submachine gun, a spike shield. It has 2 pile bunkers mounted on it, a portable rocket launcher, a foldable cannon, a hyper bazooka, and 2 3-2 missile pods. Now, what makes this suit special is the Hades system. By juicing up the neurotransmissions in the pilot's brain, reaction time can be greatly increased, and it also boosts the suit's overall performance. Unfortunately, the side effect is memory loss, and the Hades system can activate on its own. Flip side of that coin is the suit's visor, or eyes if it has, will glow red, which is pretty cool. That balances out, right? Memory loss, glowing red visor. Yeah, I'd call it a good trade. Now, I think I need to play Missing Link to figure out why this machine seems to always show up in the games. Clearly I'm missing something. Like, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, it seems kinda just like a standard machine that can glow red. Our welfare machine is the Delta Plus. This comes from Gundam Unicorn, and it was developed from the Delta Gundam, which is also the parent machine of the Hyakushiki, so they're technically siblings. Canonically piloted by Ride Marcinus, it's also capable of the Wave Rider form, much like the Zeta. It was a limited run mass production machine prototype, so only a few exist. It has a Vulcan turret set, a beam rifle, a beam saber, and a shield. And in the shield, it has a 2-barrel grenade launcher and a beam cannon. It also has a biosensor, like the Zeta. Alright, now let's move on to the pilots. First off is Elle Vianno. ZZ makes its comeback after how many events? She was one of the many pilots of the Gundam MK2 trio, and she was part of the AEUG's flagship Argama's crew. She started as a novice pilot, but eventually crawled her way up to a pseudo-ace status, and ended up with Bicha Oleg, who was a fellow pilot on the Argama. She is only a 3-star, so I'd recommend rolling only if you don't care about stats. The last thing being added is Kamille Bidan. Now, I talked about his machine in the past actually, the Zeta Gundam, when we got that, whenever that was. He got into mobile suit creation as a hobby due to his desire to counteract his overly feminine name. Seriously, he has a complex about it. He straight up starts up fights when people call him a she or a woman or insinuate it. Take a chill pill, man. I figure he thought making giant war machines would show how manly he is? He became a protege to Char Aznable, and also eventually gained new type psychic powers like telepathy. Since he's our 4-star rep, he might be worth rolling for just for the stats alone, but we'll see. Now onto the event itself. It seems that we've gone back to coins instead of a point ladder for this one. That's a real shame too, because honestly I really like the point ladder. Oh well. It also seems they've gone and changed up the display of the part multipliers again, which confused me a bit. From what I've come to understand, the percent shown is still the flat amount that a marked part's going to give. So Stargazer and the new Welfare will give 15% per part, and the 2 new gacha machines will also give a flat percent per part that are marked as well. Thing is, the multiplier caps at 600%, so the pressure to roll the gacha for multiple new rate-up parts is going to be heavily decreased here. And as with the last event, only your machines are going to count towards the multiplier. Relief machines will not, but also your allies, right? There's more machine parts on Rate Up that aren't on a banner image like last time. I'll put up an image here. You have the Pale Rider, the Dual Assault Shroud, Delta Plus, Stargazer, Justa Cannon, Bjarlint Custom, Stark Jigen, Drayson, and Jagu. I find it weird that the Dual Assault Shroud's on there, but not the normal dual. But I guess it just had another Rate Up with the event that's ending now. Something, whatever. So anyways, with that wraps up the new event. The last thing I want to mention real quick before I roll out though, so the arena shop's being updated, and we're getting the Strike Rouge and Kigali Atha instead of the Sumo and Harry. Strike Rouge is effectively the normal Strike, well, Ale Strike I guess, except it has the reddish pink tint to it, and I guess you can call it the more definitive and natural friendly edition of the Strike. They had a bunch of test data and they developed it. I'll go into more detail when it releases, because I think it's kind of important to know if it's worth spending your arena coins on it or not. And Kigali, on the flip side, she's a Princess of Orb, kind of a big shot, but she doesn't really play too much of a major role until really late in Destiny, because by the time you really get established that she's a princess of a country goes boom, and she flees into space, and then when she comes back, someone else is running the ship. So, anyways, yeah, I'll talk more about that when it actually comes out. As I normally do, I'll do an impressions video and all that stuff. This new event goes live on the 1st, which is today, a little later. Like I said, sorry for taking so long to put the video out, but I was sidetracked. And it also seems like they've learned, I should say the company has learned, they're not uploading their banners and content a few days in advance anymore. They're doing it on the day when they're announcing it all. So I don't know if we're going to get any more of the leak style stuff going forward, but we'll see. Anyways, that's it for now. Peace out.